Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. So before we get started on today's video, I need to back up to Monday's video, Food for Thought. I have to make an apology. It was a complete oversight on my part. I did not mean for it to happen. You know how you get everything kind of set in your head that you want to say, and then when you get in front of somebody or you get in front of a camera and that all goes out the window? Well, that happened to me. I didn't mean for it to happen that way, but it just did. So that whole video, that conversation was sparked between Bruce Rhodes from Backwater Baits and Lures and another fella and myself. A lot of what I said came from Bruce. I meant to give him credit in the beginning of the video. When I sat down, it was all in my head, and then when I sat down in front of the camera, that all went out the window because I was just trying to get the thoughts out of my head. Bruce, I sincerely apologize. Buddy, I didn't mean to do that. I hope you can forgive me. If, you have my number, give me a call if you need to. Again, I sincerely apologize, though. I screwed the pooch. Just plain and simple. So, with that being said, let's jump off into today's video. What I want to talk to you about is staking options as well as hooking up chains and cables to traps. I think I've had a request to do that, as well as talking about some pan cover options. So let's kind of get things set up here a little bit and we'll jump right into that. Stay with me. All right, guys, the first thing I want to kind of go over with you is how I set up my raccoon traps. And, guys, I don't do anything to them. Honestly, don't. Whatever the factory chain is, whatever the factory setup is, that's what I do with my raccoon traps. Nothing else. As far as canines go, this trap is set up on 10 feet of chain with a drag. Pretty basic, pretty simple, really. I've got a swivel here at the trap. Base plate, that's a rod base plate so that I get a little action here. But it is here in the center as well. But anyway, I've got a good crunch-proof swivel here at the trap. This one I need to do a little more work on because I don't have a mid-chain swivel in it, but I will cut it and drop in a mid-chain swivel and possibly two. One for sure, though. Then I have swivel here at the drag. That's all there is to it. 10 feet of chain, plenty long enough. You might need to do some playing wherever you're located. You might be able to get by with 8 feet. You might have to go to 12 feet. It's entirely up to you and where you're at in your terrain. As far as stakes, there are several different options as far as rebar stakes go. This is a 1/2 inch. I believe it's 24 inches or maybe even longer than that. This is a 3/8 T-bar. Now, you can weld a nut, you can weld a washer on top of them. These are just a couple of my water stakes that I use once in a while. I don't recommend using these on dry ground a lot, at least not for staking footholds or snares because you get a lot of entanglement here on the tee. So you can put a big nut on there, you can put a big washer up there, just whatever floats your boat as far as that goes. I don't use a whole lot of rebar anymore. Since I went to using disposable stakes, I don't see much need for it. The disposable that I use is the Pogo system, which is a fender washer with a J-hook through it, attached to about 18 inches of 1/8 inch cable. The biggest thing is one of these split rings. These things are a lifesaver. You want to hook up, and add some chain to a trap. All you have to do is just put it, use a split ring. Very simple, very easy. You can add, you can put them on the end of your trap. You can use them with your disposables. That way, if you want to pull the trap but leave the stake in the ground, that's an option. You sure can. You know, all you have to do is open these things up and run them through your swivel here, like so. Okay, now I've got it here on my swivel. Now, all I have to do is take a chunk of chain or cable. You could use cable, whatever whatever your situation calls for, and just slide it on there real quick and easy like, and you've got a longer chain. Then if you want to remove it, you just do it in reverse and take it off, and you're back to where your original chain was, and you're back in business. Pretty simple, pretty easy way to go. I recommend every trap has one of those with it. They are a huge time saver, especially on my snare line. Like, you know, if I run them on every snare, every disposable has one of these on it, just so I can, you know, remove the snare, put a new one back on, rebuild the trail, and I'm back going again. There's no time wasted pulling the disposable, taking the, you know, because the way we used to do it is we would run the loop end of the disposable through the swivel or through the end of the snare, then run the disposable back through itself and pull it all down tight, like so. Well, then that's fine and dandy. It's a great way to do it, but then you have to pull the stake or feed the cable on further through itself to straighten it out, open it, put your snare on, and then feed the snare through the loop the next time around. It is a pain. So get yourself some of these good cow rings or split rings, whatever you prefer to call them. Get some of those. They're a huge time saver, a huge asset to you. I highly recommend them. The other thing is the pan covers. There are a plethora. I know you didn't think this redneck knew that word, but I do. There are a plethora of options out there, okay? You can use wax paper. You can use polyfill under the pan. There's foam pads that you can buy that fit under the pan of the trap. Some of them are even waterproof, so look around and see which one works for you. You can use, I personally don't like it, but I know guys that do use it, is just roll insulation up under the pan. It's water, water runs through it. It doesn't freeze, but it has, it does have an odor to it because it is fiberglass insulation. There are fiberglass screen covers you can put over the pan. My personal choice, my personal favorite is steel wire screen. I like to fill up the jaws, the inside of the jaws, with steel wire screen, especially on my canine traps. Like this Duke number 4 and the number 3 Bridger coil spring, the dogons, you've only got 3.5 square inches of pan. Well, when you put steel screen inside there over the pan and over top of it and inside the jaws, now you've got 21 square inches of pan area. No matter where he steps inside those jaws, he's caught, more than likely going to go in the back of the truck, later on. So anyway, there's some options for you. I have used paper towels. I know the Leggett's, I knew Pete very well. I know his son Ron very well. Leggett's out there in Maryland take a tremendous amount of Fox. They use unscented toilet paper as a pan cover. So there are several things that you can use as pan covers. Anyway, guys, I know it's kind of a quick little deal. Doesn't really amount to a whole lot, but I did this to try to help some of the younger, or not necessarily younger, but newer trappers out there. You may have some questions. And if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll answer them just as quick as I can for you. Again, Bruce, buddy, it was a complete accident. I did not mean for that to happen. I apologize again. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If you would, please hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. Maybe you want to go back and look at some of my other videos if you're just now joining into this channel. For those of you that have stuck around through this with me, I appreciate it. Once again, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.